Yeah. So the sleeve is coming from here. It's got a shape like this. And from this side there's another part which is coming and finishing here. So on the upper part of the arm you see like a overlap like this, like a tulip. Okay, so if you have to draw, you would draw it like this. So from one side it's coming like this and from the other side it's going like that. So it's got like an overlap. So or let's say if you see a front view, you see the front view like this. If this is the arm, so the front view will be like this. Okay, so this is how, so this is, let's say, the elbow. So this is how a short tulip sleeve would look like. So it's very simple. If you see in terms of how to cut it and make it, it is very simple. First of all, you figure out how much of an overlap you want. Like, how can you figure this out? When you look at the drawing, you see where is the center. So this is the center, and roughly try to estimate either on a dress form or try to see how much the overlap or how much beyond the center you want this to go. So suppose you decide that you want this to be around an excess of 3 inches, or you can say, let's say 7 centimeter excess you have taken. That means from the center you have to go beyond 7 centimeter according to this. So now if this is your sleeve pattern, you will mark that 7 centimeter here. Okay, I'm working on a quarter sleeve, so I'm marking accordingly. 7, 8, you can take a call, 10, whatever you want. So I've taken according to 8 centimeters. So this is the point where I want. Okay, so now this is the back, this is the front. The next thing is to mark the lower portion of the sleeve. So now you can also need to understand how much you want the inner side of the sleeve. So you don't want this very long. Otherwise, when the person is wearing, you will see the inseam. So as a proportion, you can draw it like this. Right? So
is this a freehand thing?
Yes, this is a freehand thing, or you can even use a French curve. So one side, once you've achieved the one side like that, you can achieve the other side also in a similar manner from the other side over here. So if you were to do this on a gateway sheet, align the center to the center of the line. Copy. This part is exactly what it was. This is the center line. This is the overlap. So you got one side of the sleeve. Okay. Now coming to the other side of the sleeve. So first thing is mark this point corresponding over here on the other side. So this is marked here. Then mark the corresponding of this point on the other side. So this is marked here. Then try to replicate this thing. So you can do, now what you can do is now I'm marking this side of the okay, this is the point where it should cross over. So this guideline I have marked. This is the end point, this is the midpoint, this is the end. Now I can either use this curve to draw the other curve. Like a mirror image, I need it here, like this. So I have to flip the gateway to get this line. Okay, so this is on this side, you've got this line now, which is actually matching this, and the center line is here. So this is the center notch. Then other than this, you also have your notches for the, based on your original sleeve pattern, you will have your notches from the front and the back. So this is the back notch, and you have the notch for the front. So this is the back part, this is the front. This point tells you the upper portion. Okay, so this makes a simple basic tulip sleeve. Or you can
The
also
distance that you took as in length for this.
this.
Yeah.
So this is, again, you have to estimate from here. You have to estimate the look of the sketch. So this understanding you have to develop, which you can easily do by, looking at, if this is a drawing, you look at your own self, or you look at a dress form and see how long does it look to you. Whether it is 4 inches, 5 inches, that approximation. So either you will be able to estimate it, or you look at a dress form and mark it on the dress form. That okay, this length, what I need is about 5 inches. So you can take it about 5 inches. So that's not a problem. About approximately you can take 4, 5. So this can be according to that. So you can mark this center line. So this center line will also be your grain line. So remember, whenever you are finalizing any pattern, you always have to show a grain line. So this is also your grain line. Alright. So this becomes a petal sleeve. In case you want a flared petal, let's say a sleeve which is flared and is also a petal. It's like this, like a flared petal. Then what do you have to do? You have to slash it and flare it up. That's it. So give slashes onto this one, open it, like how we have done this kind of opening.
Yeah.
So we can have a flared petal also. You can have a gathered petal also. If you want a gathered petal, means you'll slash from top, open it. That means you can have a gathered petal. So you can have petals with longer length, petal sleeve with a longer length or a shorter length. So the rest of the variations follow the same principle of regular sleeves. The only thing you need to understand, what is actually a petal. It's an overlap. It needs to combine like that.